because he might not want to move out of the White House doesn't mean we won't have an inauguration ceremony to inaugurate a duly elected president of the United States. And I'm second in line to the presidency, and just last week I had my regular continuation of government briefing. This might interest you because I say to them, this is never going to happen. God willing, it never will. But there is a process. It has nothing to do with if the certain occupant of the White House doesn't feel like moving and has to be fumigated out of there, because the presidency is the presidency. It's not geography or location.
The Democratic panic is in full gear. You can hear it in the warbling of former President Obama as the hellhounds draw nearer.
There are those in power who are doing their darndest to discourage people from voting by closing polling locations and targeting minorities and students with restrictive ID laws, even undermining the Postal Service in the run-up to an election that's going to be dependent on mail-in ballots so people don't get sick.
So we caught President Obama and Biden spying on the campaign. I caught them, and we caught them spying using the intelligence apparatus of our country to spy on an opponent's or the opposing party's campaign, both before and after the election. How about after the election? I had already won. So that was the story. We caught them spying. Now it's up to our Attorney General. As you know, I've wanted them to do it. I didn't want to get overly involved. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, but I do hear it's breathtaking what they found. That's all I can say, breathtaking.
You can hear it in Pelosi and Schumer as they failed to support the American people during a plandemic shutdown.
At times yesterday, our Republican friends seemed willing to walk away from the negotiating table to do an unworkable, weak, and narrow executive orders which are not going to do the job for the American people. We are committed to negotiating. And as we said, we are willing to make compromises.
Won't millions of Americans now get some extended federal unemployment relief and some protection from evictions? Get that now rather than getting nothing at all.
No, in fact, what the president did is, I agree with the Republican senator, said it was unconstitutional slop.
You're known as a master negotiator, but didn't you mess this one up? Failure to make a deal is going to result in a lot of people and a lot of entities that were in need ending up with nothing. Well, how do you justify tens of billions of dollars to feed the hungry to $250,000? You understand how far apart we are just by that example. Are you talking about going to court? Because if you do, you must know that the practical effect of that would be, if you're successful, that you would be blocking. I know you'd think that they should be $600 rather than $400, but you would be blocking, if you were successful, the millions of unemployed workers from getting any federal benefit.
You can hear it in the New York Times columnist Ben Smith, where the entire country is brought to its knees for the sake of political wargaming.
Shall we play a game?
How about global thermonuclear war?
As Smith writes, a group of former top government officials called the Transition Integrity Project cast John Podesta, who was Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, in the role of Mr. Biden. They expected him, when the votes came in, to concede, just as Mrs. Clinton had. But Mr. Podesta, playing Mr. Biden, shocked the organizers by saying he felt his party wouldn't let him concede, alleging voter suppression. He persuaded the governors of Wisconsin and Michigan to send pro-Biden electors to the Electoral College.
Tell me this is one of your simulations, Mr. Kittredge. All right. Flush the bombers, get the subs in launch mode. We are at DEFCON 1.
In that scenario, California, Oregon, and Washington then threatened to secede from the United States if Mr. Trump took office as planned. The House named Mr. Biden president. The Senate and White House stuck with Mr. Trump. At that point, the nation stopped looking for the media for cues and waited to see what the military would do. One need look no further than Joe Biden, who is Democrat panic incarnate, a blubbering, senile, old-school racist globalist minion representing a portion of America that is so confused that they would willingly support him. John Bowne reporting.